Again, my name is Harold Lucas. I'm President and CEO of Black Metropolis Convention and Tourism Council. We are a 501c3 destination marketing organization for the historic Brownsville community. And when we talk about the Brownsville community, we're talking about the area of the South Lakefront where African Americans were restricted by legal restricted covenants imposed by the University of Chicago between 1916 and 1948. So we know exactly where we were restricted by these restricted covenants, and we're trying to develop our community from the bottom up as an internationally significant African American heritage tourism destination based on the authentic experience of electrified blues, jazz, gospel music, and politics, grassroots politics, and elected and re-elected first African American president of the United States. So we do a tour, for example, of the Black Metropolis Pullman Porter Great Migration Blues Trail, which will take you from Johnson Publishing Company at 820 South Michigan all the way out to the April Randolph Pullman Museum. Matter of fact, we'll be doing one next Tuesday with a college group that's interested in the authentic experience south of 22nd Street. And if you go to a city map, and I'll put it in context for you. We've been in business since 1996. We were at the first Powwow Conference. The issue then for us on the south side of Chicago was, what about tourism south of I-55 on McCormick Place? It wasn't addressed then. 16 years later, it's not being addressed now. So again, we have a premier, internationally significant African American heritage tourism destination that is not being supported by the city of Chicago. We are partners with a lot of different groups, Latin School on the north side, University of Chicago, DePaul University, etc. We're working with all these schools, etc. But we don't get the kind of support from DCEO to provide the infrastructure to preserve the authentic experience of Brownsville as an international heritage tourism destination, and at time shift supporting resources so that we can build that infrastructure from the bottom up, revitalize our buildings in our community. So when I started on this in 1983, we saved all the buildings that make up the Black Metropolis Historic District. We operate out of the Supreme Life Center, which was the mecca between 1936 and 42 of all Black business enterprises that led to John Johnson and the opening of Johnson Publication. And by the time 1976, they had $2 billion in force in terms of insurance and equity. So we have an illustrious cultural experience of economic empowerment in the African American community that I'm told, because I don't have cable TV, is not being reflected in Chicagoland. I'm going to close with that. I think it's appropriate. We need to get the website up. I did give a lot of brochures out. You can pick it up on the website. We're interactive. We're ready for prime time. We're ready to bring the Presidential Library to McAleese Hospital site. We don't think it needs to go to the University of Chicago. We don't think they need to get anything else for taxpayer dollars at the expense of our community. If they put one more crane on the campus over there, it might fall through the ground. And ignoring the surrounding authentic African American community. It's a land grab. World Business Chicago is here on 55th Street. If they get their way, they'll stick the Presidential Library on 55th and King Drive and regentrify the entire neighborhood over to the Dan Ryan Expressway. So we obviously don't trust the University of Chicago. But ironically, that's where the study began between Earl B. Dickinson, Irvin Mollison, and Truman K. Gibson. So if you read your history, you know that we're authentic. 5 principles of the National Trust: focus on authenticity, save the site, find the fit between the site and community, find the resource, and collaborate as broadly as possible. I'm the key in collaboration in Brownsville.